City of Glendora for allowing me to come and speak to you on behalf of the Sheriff and Los Angeles County. Again, my name is Morejon. I'm a commander with the Sheriff's Department. I run the jail portion of the Sheriff's Department. 7 jails we currently have open. We have approximately 17, just a couple stats for you, approximately 17,000 inmates right now currently in custody of the Sheriff's Department. We normally release about 115 to 120,000 people come through our doors yearly. So that's kind of the numbers that we're looking at. You're probably wondering, you know, why is the Sheriff's Department here in the City of Glendora? We don't patrol the City of Glendora, but I think it's good because if somebody gets arrested here in the city and eventually gets remanded to custody, eventually they can't stay here in the City of Glendora's jail. They eventually come to us in LA County. So what I like to do is, I don't want to take too much time. Anita gave a outstanding presentation of SB 54, the Truth and the Trust Act. I'm here to tell you the Sheriff's Department follows SB 54, and we give, you know, all the rights to the inmates that the law requires us to do. I'm going to try and just give you a quick update or summary of what we do as law enforcement and our deputies do in the field and patrol. If the biggest thing to remember, and that the sheriff always keeps putting out, is that we never ask, or our policy dictates that we never ask for citizenships whenever we come in contact with a citizen on the streets. So we encourage, you know, out there said that, hey, people don't want to come out, people don't want to tell us they're victims of a crime, witnesses to a crime, because they're afraid that they're going to get turned over to ICE. Always remember, we don't ask that in our cities that we patrol. So that's an encouragement that we always try to put out there. As far as how you come to me or to the jail system, and Anita, I think, broke it down. I'll try and real quickly just to give you an update. If you get arrested, your fingerprints are going to be taken, and once your fingerprints are taken, it goes through that whole system, and I won't go through it again, that Anita described. And eventually, we, the Sheriff's Department, if you get arrested in one of our jurisdictions, we will get a detainer, what's called a detainer. Once you come in our custody, we will issue that detainer to the person, to the individual, and it gives them certain rights. Those rights are described under SB 54, that they have the right to talk to ICE if they so choose to, that they can have an attorney present, or they don't have to talk to them. We give them those rights, they sign a piece of paper, and we also give them a copy of the detainer. We then no longer have any contact with that individual at all until he is completely done with and adjudicated with his case in the county. Once his case is completed and he's about to get released, we, or the sheriff, has decided to comply with SB 54, because one of the criteria is that any information we turn over to ICE or that we talk to ICE about, we also have to be made available to the public. We have created on our website under lasd.org a release information. So every inmate that's getting released from our custody will be posted on our website that they are being released. That complies and gives us the opportunity then to, if we choose to elect and tell ICE that this individual is getting released from our custody. Again, going back to SB 54, if ICE decides they want that individual, there's certain steps that we have to take. Number one is we have to make sure they qualify, and those are some of the crimes. Basically, qualify means you have to have committed and been convicted of a crime that fits under SB 54 in order for us to turn you over to ICE. If you do, then we go ahead and do that if and only if ICE picks you up from our facility prior to us releasing you. So in other words, we won't hold an individual, even though the act allows us to hold them for up to 48 hours, the sheriff has decided that we will not hold them for any longer period of time than needs to be for a regular release. So if ICE comes and wants them, they qualify, we turn them over. And just to give you a couple stats, in the last 2 years, we've turned over roughly about 1,000. Last year was, I believe, was about 1,200 individuals over to ICE. The year before was about 1,000. Out of the, like I said, about 115, 120,000 that we released. It's roughly about 1% or less than 1% that are being turned over to them. So again, I don't want to go into the weeds. I know you guys laugh, but remember, it's not the number of the 120-some, because not all 120-some thousand ICE wants. There was only issued about 5,000-some detainers that were issued. So 1,000 out of 5,000 that are going over. So I don't want to take all the time and get into the weeds. I know you're going to have a ton of questions, but I think
I'd like to ask this because otherwise I'm going to forget.
Excuse me.
You just said that.
Hold on.
You
Excuse me, sir.
said
Sir,
1,000.
sir, excuse me.
That when 5,000 requests have been made by ICE.
Excuse me, sir.
So 4,000
Sir.
people who ICE is requesting
Wow.
be detained, they're being released.
Sir, I promise you can ask your question, just a couple housekeeping items prior to.
Well, she asked after she was done. She had asked, so I thought it was each person as they're done. Otherwise, we forget.
Perfect.
Yeah.
A couple housekeeping items. Thank you all very much. If we can give a round of applause to the speakers. Thank you very much.